Thanks for hanging with Hudson and Aly and our special guest. He's put out a ton of songs that we love playing here on Radio U, including his brand new song, Head First, that he's put out for the show, Gabriel and the Guardians. PEABOD, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. Thanks so much for having me. Excited to be here.
Yes, it's good to actually meet you, PEABOD. And we are excited about the new show, Gabriel and the Guardians, and we want to get the story on how you even got involved with that. But first, Easter is coming up, and I want to know, PEABOD, what do you have going on for Easter?
Oh man, I'll be at church with my wife, helping out at our church here in Washington that we love, that I've been a part of for like almost 10 years. So do that, and then have a little lunch with the family, which maybe you can help me answer this debate. I feel like people after church on Sunday, specifically like Easter, will call lunch dinner. Like this,
Yes.
I feel like this is like this old school tradition back to when we called dinner supper, but no one really calls it supper anymore. Anyways, so like we were planning this and my parents were like, "Are you guys going to come over for dinner?" And I was like, "What day?" Anyways, this doesn't matter.
No.
This is like a long-standing debate is fancy lunch dinner, or can we just call it?
This is what we want. No, this is what we are here for, PEABOD.
Yes.
And
these debates are what we live for, really.
On Sunday, if you have like the Easter ham and everything, even if that takes place at 11 a.m., that is dinner.
Easter dinner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm on board, I guess. If it's for like a special occasion, but I will say it was a little confusing. I was a little flustered. I was like, when do I show up? I just want to eat.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the important thing. But it does raise the conundrum of if dinner is like in the middle of the day when you would normally have lunch, then what is the last meal of the day? You can't have two dinners.
Yeah.
So I guess that is supper.
I don't have to pick one. I want both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
First dinner, second dinner. I don't know.
Yeah, we could just do a Lord of the Rings thing.
Yeah.
First and second of whatever meal we want to do first and second for.
Very into that. So I guess that's my answer is I'm doing a Lord of the Rings style Easter as far as how I'm eating 2 dinners. It's going to be good.
That sounds beautiful.
That's awesome. Well, I want to know, because you're, this song is involved with the show Gabriel and the Guardians, which is an anime. I have been a fan of anime for a little bit, and I kind of want to know, have you been a fan of anime? Do you have any shows that you enjoy watching or have in the past?
Yeah, I always hesitate to answer this question because I have friends who are like hardcore anime fans. Like they know all the shows and all the references, and I'm not at that level. But I did
so you're casual.
Yes, I'm casual. And the show I'm gonna mention now, some people would even get in the debate of like, is that even anime? But like, I grew up on like The Last Airbender. I still think that that's like one of the most incredible animated TV shows. And Jason, who created Gabriel and the Guardians, was super inspired by that show as well when he was working on this show. And the same studio that animated The Last Airbender animated Gabriel and the Guardians. So I have like that's like the show I know the most about, and it worked out well for me because there's a lot of like one-to-one crossover there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think it's such a cool art style. And I remember like being a kid and going to the Scholastic Book Fair and getting like books on how to draw like manga style like
Nice.
characters. I could never really do it, but I always thought it was so fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so you know a bit about anime, but then that leads me to my question that I think, so you have a Q&A coming up tonight too for the premiere of the show, which people can find details on at radiou.com/Ohio. I'm sure this question will come up at the premiere as well. But how did you actually wind up making the song Head First for Gabriel and the Guardians? How did that come about in the first place?
Oh my gosh, it's a pretty good story, honestly. I was in Ohio playing a couple shows and had a Q&A like I do before a lot of shows. And this guy came up with his 2 kids to do signatures. and his kids have like Sharpie all over their face and arms, and it's all lyrics of my songs.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
they were like hardcore. So it's like sweet as Coca-Cola, and like I'm not joking, like all over their face and
That's
neck and everything.
crazy.
It was awesome.
Is
And
that safe?
I don't know. I think they're fine. I haven't heard anything. But yeah, kids, if you're listening, don't Sharpie your face just because you're going to a Peabod show. Ask your parents first. This dad was cool with it. So instantly I'm like, okay, these kids are awesome. Like, this is going to be super fun. And Jason, their dad and the creator of the show, who I didn't know this at the time, we get to talking, we take pictures and whatever. And he goes, hey, this is super out of the blue, but I'm making this show. My kids wanted me to bring you like a poster from the show. So I'm going to just leave this with you. Check it out if you want. Maybe there's like some world where we could work on the music. And, I'm taking all of this in like in the queue line of like meeting people. And so I'm kind of like, sure, man. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, right.
And me and my drummer, Austin, were looking at the poster afterwards and we were like, this looks pretty cool. Like, let's actually check it out. And at that point, all they had was like a teaser trailer and some of the backstory. And I like went online and started like stalking Jason and like watched the show. And I was like, or the teaser trailer. And I was like, this actually looks really good. And I'm sure you guys have felt this, but in our lifetime growing up, now there's a lot of really cool stuff in Christian media. But growing up, kind of the stigma was like, if it's Christian, it's probably not good.
Yeah.
As far as like TV went.
Sure.
And
quality
so
not as high.
Exactly. So that's kind of the expectation I went in with, because this dude loves Jesus and he's making an anime that, like lines up with his beliefs. I was like, this can't be good. But I was super, super, super impressed. I was so wrong. The teaser trailer like blew my mind, and I was like, okay, I gotta meet this dude again and talk to him some more. So I hit him up on Instagram and wasn't even really sure if it was the right account. But I was like, hey, you gave me this poster. I'd love to hear some more. So we hopped on a Zoom call, and he kind of like laid out the show for me, all the different people who were involved. Like I mentioned the studio that did The Last Airbender animated, the first episode that they have. And like the voice actors, like the main guy, Johnny Youngbosch, like he's the Black Power Ranger, and he's been in a ton of different anime. And so anyways, long story short, I was like immediately like caught the vision, and I was like, this is incredible. You've got all the right people in this to do this the right way. And I love the idea of having a show like the Last Airbender, but with, some of the principles that make Christianity so attractive. And so I was like, yeah, man, I would love to be, if there's a world where I can be involved even in just a little bit, I'd love to. And he was like, well, we need an end credits song. And I was like, okay, I'll see what I can do. And then before I got started, he was like, hey, the episode's not done yet, but I can send you what's called an animatic, which is like the storyboard, but like moving to like in motion with the voice acting and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's maybe a frame every couple seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was geeking out because like before I did music, I like wanted to draw. And like I said, I wasn't like very good at it, but
Yeah.
I love the world of animation, and I think it's really cool to watch something go from like a sketch to like a full-on TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So I was geeking out, was blown away by the show, and I won't give any spoilers, but Gabriel is going on this adventure, and there's an invitation to that adventure, and he has the choice to throw himself head first, there it is, into the adventure, or to stay kind of comfortable. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, there's something really beautiful about that I think all of us can relate to. We've got something in our life that maybe the Lord is calling us into, but it's risky because he's a good God, he wants us to grow and change, and he doesn't just leave us in one place. It's sanctification.
Yeah.
And so I was like, there's something really cool about that. And so I was just inspired by the episode and knocked the song out pretty quick, and got a video from one of Jason's kids with no Sharpie on his face this time. But he was like, I think this is the best song you've ever written. So I was like, okay, I know I hit the mark if the kids with Sharpie are vibing with the song.
Yep.
So that's kind of the whole story, how it came to be.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
I'm so glad it came together, that it worked out that way. What are the odds? Probably 1 billion to 1. And now we have a cool new anime show, and we have your brand new song, Head First. So tonight is the premiere for Radio U Ohio of the show, and PEABOD doing a virtual Q&A. So you don't have to ask him how the song came to be, but you can ask any other thing you've ever wanted to know about PEABOD. And that's coming up. Details are at radiou.com/Ohio. PEABOD, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll play the new song, Head First.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.